An investigation is underway into what caused a U.S. Army helicopter and a passenger plane to crash midair near Washington, D.C.'s Reagan National Airport last night.
We now know there were no survivors among the 64 people who were on the plane and the 3 who were on the military helicopter. Now, at this time, the NTSB does not know exactly what caused the crash over the Potomac River, but the Federal Aviation Administration now says one air traffic controller was working 2 positions at the time of the crash, which was not normal for the time of day or the volume of traffic at the airport. Tonight, NTSB investigators are on the scene, recovering evidence and trying to piece together exactly how this happened.
As part of any investigation, we look at the human, the machine, and the environment. So we will look at all the humans that were involved in this accident. Again, we will look at the aircraft, we will look at the helicopter, we will look at the environment in which they were operating in. That is standard in any part of our investigation.
The NTSB plans to release a preliminary report on this crash within the next 30 days. Last night's crash, the deadliest U.S. airline disaster in more than 15 years.
KVUE's Daniel Perot spoke with an aviation expert and pilot about why this crash is a long-feared nightmare.
The American air travel system has been under increasing stress over the last couple of years. Near tragedies have put that stress on display, including ones here in Austin. Warning signs of the risk of a major mid-air collision like what we saw in Washington.
We may have a great system, but we have known deficiencies.
Years of alarm bells, now a tragedy in the skies over the nation's capital. Mike Slack is an aviation lawyer and pilot. He says flying through that busy and highly restricted air corridor is like threading a needle.
It's an unusual approach over the Potomac with a sudden turn. And you're trying to fly the airplane, trying to watch for traffic at the same time.
He says a shortage of air traffic controllers and increasing airspace congestion have affected safety.
Those margins of safety need all the help they can get, but you chip away at it a little bit, and next thing you know, you have a mid-air collision.
As they investigate the collision, the NTSB says communications will be a significant focus for investigators.
The fact that the helicopter did not have GPS reporting information, in all probability, and may have been on a different frequency, those are 2 problems.
In recent years, there have been a string of near misses. Austin's airport has seen half a dozen close calls.
Southwest aboard.
Most notably, a FedEx cargo plane came within 200 feet of a Southwest plane on the same runway it was trying to land on.
The only difference between a near miss and a mid-air collision is there's a slight difference in time and slight difference in position.
The near miss was one of 10 the FAA studied in 2023. They recommended increased staffing, additional FAA safety oversight, and investing in airport technology.
Until we correct those known deficiencies, we don't have the system we deserve.
Federal investigators now combing through the wreckage to figure out what happened so the tragedy in Washington doesn't turn into a tragedy anywhere else. Despite the tragedy, officials say that flying is still very safe in the United States, with thousands of planes taking off and landing every single day. Every time there is a tragedy like this, there's sweeping change in the aviation industry. Back during the last major crash in 2009, there were sweeping changes to pilot experience and regulations for airlines. Undoubtedly, there will be sweeping change after this crash as well.